Like how that we ordered this triple-decker sandwich is pretty groovy. Hey, Scoob!
Mmm, delicious, Ricky!
Like Scoob, wouldn't you mind to check in the back of the mystery ink machine?
What do you want in it, Raggy?
Make sure it's the soda that really drinks me up.
What was it, Raggy? The soda's here, Raggy.
Gee, well, thanks, Scoob, old buddy, old pal. I need to reach 1% of my power before we try to hunt down these ghosts. Like, can't wait to experience my first trip ever since college. Oh boy, here we go. Zoinks!
Oh, Raggy, what's happening?
It's kicking in, Scoob!
Uh-oh, run! Raggy?
I feel more powerful than before, man! Oh, Scoob, now I feel all Super Saiyan! I must use my power for the greater good!
Come on, hit me! Come on, hit me!
Have no fear! Super Saiyan Shaggy is here!
What? Who are you? What have you done to Clark Kent?
I might have used all of his powers from drinking the chemical radiation juice! Now I am unstoppable!
Bruce, who stole my suit? It's a group of mentally kids and their stupid dog. I hate the Mystery Incorporated.
Scooby Doo!
Hello there, fellow geeks and nerds. That is I, Daniel, but you may call me the Pop Culture Dude. And today, it's been 50 years of everyone's favorite talking dog, Marmaduke. I'm just kidding, it's Scooby Doo, of course. So, it's been marked over 50 years of this fictional cartoon character that's been running with a lot of TV series, like over for the past 50 years from every different version to iteration. And, of course, since Scooby Doo is one of the most iconic cartoon characters from both Warner Brothers and Hanna-Barbera, next to Looney Tunes, of course, and Tom and Jerry, we decided that Hollywood decided to make live-action adaptations of it, which is obviously Scooby Doo 1 and 2. And yes, they were pretty guilty pleasures when I was a kid. Like, I enjoy it as a kid, and it's one of those movies, like, it's so bad as an adaptation, but I just can't help it to enjoy it just because of the comedy, especially for the most powerful and the most perfect casting, Matthew Lillard as Shaggy Rogers. That dude is still voicing Shaggy from this day on, but so cool that Warner Brothers hire him up and be like, yeah, I'd like to be the voice of Shaggy, man. And that's literally my worst Shaggy impression. It's pretty cringe, but I definitely had a good time, especially we spawned a lot of Shaggy memes with that. And of course, let me tell you my deepest secrets. When I was like 5 years old, when I see a live action film for the first time, my pee-pee decided to raise up, and I gotta say, that woman, whoo, Jen Kays. Anyway, the main purpose of it is, we already know the history of Scooby-Doo. We actually have like 2 live-action adaptation films. Even we have like these 2 live-action junior movies that was made by Cartoon Network like a couple like years ago. That was back in the decade. Even the crappy Daphne Velma spinoff that nobody cares about. We are finally getting another Scooby-Doo movie that is literally coming next year in May 2020. But this time, it will be animated. It will be a 3D CG animated film. Like, way back in 2014, it has been announced, like here in this article that has, in June 17, 2014, Warner Brothers announced that they would reboot the Scooby-Doo films with a new film. Until then, they decided, like, find different directors, but until then, officially, by August 2015, Tony Javaeri, who's going to be the director of this film, who has been working with Scooby-Doo, of course, related stories before, so this is his first time making a big budget, of course, animated 3D CG Scooby-Doo movie. And, of course, the title is called Scoob! Yeah, it's literally called Scoob because they don't want to, like, rehash the exact same title from the previous Scooby-Doo movies. And now, the question is, what is this movie going to be about? Well, for right now, we both have the summary of the plot. It says here, Scooby-Doo is the hero of our own story in Scoob, the first full-length theater animated Scooby-Doo adventure, which reveals how he and his best friend Shaggy became 2 of the world's beloved crime busters. The story takes us back where it all began with young Scooby and Shaggy first meet and team up with Daphne, Velma, and Fred to launch Mystery Incorporated. So basically, for the first half of this Scooby Doo movie, it's going to be an origin story from how Scooby and Shaggy eventually become friends, like for the very first time. Even though we've seen that before in A Pup Named Scooby Doo, which basically we see like the Mystery Incorporated gang that we all meet each other as kids. So I guess this is going to be like a new iteration, and I guess we already seen that in Mystery Begins, which is that live action junior film that was aired on Cartoon Network, but they did it differently. But to me, this is going to be the first Scooby-Doo origin story that we're actually going to see, like, way before they eventually become the gang, which is the Mystery Inc. But at the exact same time, this is our first time that we're going to see it on the big screen. But it's not just an origin story Scooby-Doo. There's more. In case you know, this is not going to be your ordinary Scooby-Doo movie. It also says right here, Scoob will be an origin story about how Scooby, Shaggy, Velma, Fred, and Daphne became the gang of the meddling kids we all know and love. But it's as a part of the connected Hanna-Barbera universe. Join the characters from Yogi Bear, the Jetsons, the Flintstones, to take down the wacky villains named Dick Dastardly, the guy who's the Waluigi ripoff, and we need this guy for Smash. But anyway, now that the key words that they mention about Hanna-Barbera characters that they're going to cross over, move aside Avengers Infinity War and move aside Disney Infinity. This is the biggest crossover that we're ever going to get besides Super Smash Bros. And it's none other than Scoob. They're going to launch their own Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe. And I see that Warner Bros. Is trying to I wouldn't say do the exact same thing what Disney's doing, because Disney is basically just remaking your beloved Disney classics, but making it into live action, and they make big, whether you love them or you hate them. But Warner Brothers, they're taking the tape of reliving their own cartoon properties that you love from your childhood, but being big on the big screen. Like, the Scoob movie's going to come out next year. We're going to get a Tom and Jerry live action anime movie. Don't worry, they confirmed Tom and Jerry are not going to speak. We're going to get Space Jam 2 in July 2021. So they're definitely bringing us the classic animated characters that we love that Warner Bros. Pitches, like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, and Scooby Doo. But anyway, we're going to get back to Scooby Doo. Now we get to know to the story of it. Now, we finally going to dive to the topic of our first look of these characters. And to me, I want to give you my own personal thoughts, even though they already been leaked on the internet, and showing who's going to be the voice of this cast. Well, for right now, we have our official first look on Scooby Doo himself. And I got to say, from this image right here, I think they did a really good job of making Scooby, of course, make it 3D EG animated, but at the exact same time, make it more faithful and close to his animated counterpart that we all know and love. And to me, it's a really good look, and it's a really good unique take on it. And I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has really, of course, inspired a lot of animators just to make really good animation, but make it faithful to, of course, their animated counterparts. But Scooby's not the only one that's looking good besides the footage and the photo that we have. We have Shaggy Rogers, for crying out loud. And even though he, of course, is also a faithful look of how Shaggy looks, the guy who's going to be voicing him, his name is Will Forte. He was in Last Man Standing. He was in other movies like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 and the Lego Movie. Even some of the original voice actors that voice, of course, the current cast of the Scooby-Doo cartoons, Matthew Lillard, like I said, who plays live-action Shaggy and who eventually voiced Shaggy, has even talked words about he's pretty disappointed that he won't be a part of this film just because it's a new version. And they even claimed that they weren't even contacted about the decision about being recast of the roles. In case you notice, they will be voiced by celebrities. The only actor that will still reprise the role is Frank Welker as Scooby-Doo. He's been the voice of Scooby for many decades, and to me, it's a smart decision they decided to keep that because he's the most iconic Scooby voice after, of course, Donna Murphy decided to pass away. But Frank Welker, he's still like the voice of Scooby, and I'm glad he's going to reprise his role in this day. But for the rest of the Scooby-Doo gang, they're all definitely going to be voiced by celebrities. Like Shaggy's going to be voiced by Will Forte. And now we're going to get our official first look on the other mystery gang. And let's just say this. What is with Zac Efron, who's going to play as Fred? And the one thing is, we see something different about this Fred. Besides his huge, chubby-looking square face, we kind of see that he's not wearing his ascot. Like, we only just see, like, an orange line of his shirt and then, like, a blue sweater, kind of like a jersey. I kind of understand that because I think it's more like a modern update of Fred, just because nobody in 2019 wears ascots on their necks anymore. We're already past by the 70s decade. But he definitely looks like, yeah, Fred is going to be part of High School Musical. Once again, Zac Efron voices Fred, so it definitely makes sense. And now we get to our other design, which is Gina Rodriguez as Velma. And I gotta say, she actually looks a little bit different from what she originally looks in the cartoons, but I like this new update. I mean, she's not as, of course, attractive and, of course, hot as the live-action Velma from the live-action Scooby-Doo movies, but I think she's pretty cute and adorable because of the glasses and the freckles and the short hair that she has, and I see that she's wearing like a turtleneck underneath. The only character that they have not shown is, of course, Daphne, who's going to be voiced by Amanda Seyfried, and to me, even though this movie's going to be animated, but when I look at the cast and I compare it to like their characters that they're all going to voice, to me, I'm like, couldn't they just make another live-action Scooby-Doo movie? Because if I compare the cast to their characters, they could literally pull off their characters in live action. But it is what it is. I definitely like the thing that they're going to animation as well. And yes, of course they already got our official cast of how the Scooby-Doo gang is going to be. They even cast child actors to play the younger versions of the Mystery Gang, but also we got even more celebrities who's going to voice a lot of the Hanna-Barbera characters. One of the craziest casting is Tracy Morgan as Captain Caveman. So we're not going to hear the Captain Caveman. He's going to be like, yo, what's up, man, Captain Caveman, Tracy Morgan. So to me, that's going to be pretty weird. But anyway, obviously, if you cast like celebrities, I mean, as long as they're going to make, of course, still faithful to their animated designs, I'll be fine. What's next? Are you going to hire Dan Aykroyd and Justin Timberlake to voice Yogi Bear and Boo Boo again? I don't know. I don't want to get the studio ideas. But it's a good thing that we're going to get other characters besides like Captain Caveman, Dog Wonder, Dino Mutts. We're getting Blue Falcon, Dick Dastardly, who's basically the Thanos of this movie. Especially he's the main villain and he's wearing purple. So obviously he has that evil mastermind and that mustache that makes him look sinister. So that's pretty much all that I can cover up for Scooby-Doo. Like, I think it's going to be really interesting that we're seeing something different when it comes to like Warner Brothers, and the fact that this movie is going to have a major competition with the third SpongeBob movie. And the one thing that I can care of they both have in common is both the Scooby-Doo reboot and the SpongeBob movie, which is the third one, they're all going to be both 3D CG animated. These are cartoons that you love from your past, from your childhood, but at the exact same time, they're going to make it like new stories, and they're both released in the same month by the same year. So who's going to win at the box office? Will it be SpongeBob SquarePants or will it be Scooby-Doo? We'll have to see how it goes, but I think that's going to be a huge animated box office competition. But that's all I have to say for now. I'm really like looking forward to what's going to happen with Scoob. I think it's going to be more faithful to the Scooby-Doo story, but also with the Hanna-Barbera characters, because I bet they're going to make more movies like, I don't know, Flintstones, Jetsons, Yogi Bear, animated film. They're going to make more of these just to make it at least more respect for the source material, especially with their animation looks as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you up with a different update, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember, please just find the ghost and find the case. Scooby Doo!